Hey, we're talking today with Barry Bridges. He's coming to us from Cape Town, South Africa. And Barry is a sleep and recovery specialist. Barry has taught us a lot about sleep and recovery and overall wellness and its relation to sleep over the last few years. And he's introduced us to some pretty cool people. Barry, how you doing today?
Glenn, I'm doing well from sunny South Africa.
Yeah.
We're heading into our winter here. As you can see, I'm wearing my jersey.
Yeah.
But I do have the Dēp Sleep hoodie right next to me. So
Nice.
the bad boy's right next to me.
Got to keep it close.
Yeah, I'll keep it close. So no one steals it from me here.
That's happened. That has happened.
And yeah, we're heading to winter. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, a cold winter here. We get at least 5 months of cold weather. The disadvantage for us here in South Africa, we don't have any central heating inside the houses. So it's extremely cold.
Boy, the hoodie comes in handy during that season for sure. Well, cool, Barry. You know, when I think of you, we have collaborated on a few things, and you introduced us to Maureen Shea, two-time world champion boxer, to boxer Sullivan Barrera, and the noted MMA strength coach Phil Daru. And all these guys have great content on social. They understand the importance of sleep, and not everybody does. So like you and I have talked about before, athletes and wellness specialists know the importance of sleep. They know the dangers of sleep deprivation. And I wonder, first and foremost, how did you get into the industry, and what interested you most about the sleep industry?
Glenn, great question. Look, I've been in the strength conditioning and fitness field for about 15 years plus. I've worked in corporate wellness. I still work in corporate wellness full time. I've worked with elite sports teams, soccer teams, golf fitness. And I found, you know, the sports science strength conditioning, it's a lot of work to get results. You know, it's a lot of work. And then I kind of met Nick Littlehales. If you probably know him, the sports sleep coach. I met him about 6 years ago. He came down to South Africa for a world conference, actually in sports science. And by that time, I had no interest in sleep and recovery. The reason why he wanted to meet me, he got me through LinkedIn, is because he saw I specialize in golf fitness. And he was a pro golfer himself, but didn't make it obviously on tour, which led him to go into the sleep world as a sleep coach. You'll hear him mention that in his podcast. And that kind of started it. And then obviously I did a little bit of research on recovery. And yeah, I've been in the game for about 5 years now on the sleep coaching side.
Yeah.
And that's the rest is history.
Yeah. It's good stuff, because as more research comes in, and it seems like it comes in often, the wider world is starting to appreciate what sleep is, and how it helps us rejuvenate both mentally and physically, and how it really changes our lives. I mean, you know, to plug Dēp Slēpwear here for a second, I didn't know a ton going in. I just knew I needed something better to sleep in. And now we're getting emails from people who have not been able to sleep for years and years and years, saying, I just wanted to thank you. You changed my life. And you hear that every day. And then you go to another level, right? So the people that you speak with may or may not be sleeping well, but they're looking at it for the improvement in performance, right? The athletes especially really understand that relationship between sleep and performance. And as you've brought it up a notch, the Successful Sleeper program has been of particular interest. You put together a sleep plan and a sleep diary for us that we make available on deepsleepwear.com. And people are downloading that and really benefiting from it. Tell us more about the Successful Sleeper program, what you offer, who you offer to, et cetera.
So basically there's two programs I offer. There's a sleep recovery program, and that's normally for, I kind of say, the general population group and the athletic population group. And then I've got a unique brand new program called the Sleep Performance Program, which is ideal for your EDM music producers, DJs, and performing artists.
So the EDM DJs niche that you are helping out right now is really interesting. Why don't you share exactly what is EDM and what are the particular challenges for EDM DJs?
Yeah, Glenn, so that is my new niche that I'm targeting. And that's part of my, as mentioned early on in the conversation, the sleep performance program. So EDM stands for electronic dance music. Now, a lot of these artists have different genres. The popular one genre in our country is called Afro House. And that's kind of the music that Black Coffee plays. Black Coffee, he won the obviously recent Grammy Awards, which was 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I actually went to his party.
So
He
cool.
had a party down here in Cape Town. I danced my ass off for 2 hours.
Nice.
So yeah, and yeah, you will see each artist, DJ, electronic DJ has a different genre. And like you'll see when Black Coffee plays his music, he's very chilled by the DJ decks. He doesn't move around too often. But you get someone like Stevie Aoki, he'll jump on stage, he'll run around in circles, he'll jump in the crowd. So they kind of play towards their kind of music and style, which obviously gets them uplifting and they want to move around and obviously entertain the crowd. Because they also have to entertain the crowd with their music as well.
Right.
Would you say they're athletes? Definitely they are. I would say more on a cognitive athlete. Definitely more cognitive, like very similar to esport gamers. And they have a little bit of a physical element towards, we know when they get on stage, etc.
Yeah.
Now, the problems, what is occurring with them is it basically starts with sleep deprivation. These guys have unique schedules, probably more hectic schedules than your average athlete or professional athletes. A lot of them are in studio producing music for 8-10 hours, maybe till late evening as well. Then some of them are producing music, and then they out in the evening at clubs. They trying to get their name, their brand out there. You know, they're going to these live gigs, and then weekends they obviously going to live gigs again. You know, I think when you get a name, you probably can get a little bit more picky when you tour and that. But if you're a start-out guy, you bring new music into the music scene, it's a long haul. And most of these guys have worked their asses off to get where they are.
Yeah.
Some of them got a little bit of luck. And yeah, so it starts with sleep deprivation. And when they don't get this sorted out, it leads obviously to other mental health concerns. Chronic insomnia, performance anxiety, especially when they get on stage. These guys have at least 15 types of stresses before they even touch those DJ decks.
Wow.
They're worrying about, they're worrying about, is the music going to gel with the crowd? They don't know what the crowd they can expect.
Yeah.
Is the sound engineer going to be knowing what to do behind the decks? Is the sound working? You know, for newbie, is my music going to be good enough so I can get another gig next weekend?
Right.
You know, so there's all those stresses. That's not even their lifestyle stresses.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I think of is they're DJs, like, you know, they're partying all the time, or they're kind of the life of the party. And it seems to me like they're up all night. When do they even get a chance to go to bed? So in a sense, they're almost like shift workers going against probably their circadian rhythm, right?
Yeah, they probably like an advanced shift worker.
An advanced
They're advanced shift workers because, you know, they during the day they're busy, then in the afternoon they're busy, and then in the evening they're busy.
Yeah.
You know, so they're living in this nocturnal lifestyle where, you know, it's dark studios, dark music studios. They're lucky. Look, some of them will get to play in the afternoons, which obviously will be ideal. They'll get some sunlight. But you'll find most of them are like evening chronotypes.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but probably majority of them had to adjust to that type of schedule and living.
Yeah.
And you know, that just catches up to them.
I'm sure.
And
yeah.
Some of them do have some help. Some of them do have some trainers, physical trainers. They have some of them do have psychologists on board. But it is quite a lonely journey. You know, most of them will travel by themselves. They won't have their families with. So hotel space, you know, can be a little bit, it definitely is lonely.
Lonely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you are putting together a program for them, give us some insight into what kind of tips you give these guys.
Yeah, so the sleep performance program is based on three things, what I look at. The first one is to improve their sleep hygiene and recovery during the day. The second thing we want to look at is the performance anxiety. So we look at giving them cognitive fitness tools to get their brain more active. So before they go on stage. So it's like a bit of neuroscience and fitness together. I have got a sports science background as well, and I've done a little bit of courses in neuroscience as well. And yeah, then we obviously looked at jet lag, when they fly into different time zones. I use different apps. One of them will be Jet Lag Rooster, the other one will be Time Shifter. And then there obviously goes some support when they get into hotels and that. So yeah, there's also warm-up activities. So we want to get them with their brain and obviously some fitness, like movement exercises that can obviously de-stress them before they go on stage, as well as they do the cognitive stuff beforehand. So there's like three parts to the sleep performance program, which makes it obviously unique. It's not just a normal sleep coaching program. And then the sleep performance program will be based on their chronotype and their unique work schedule. And we kind of tailor fit that to what they are doing on a day-to-day basis, because we want to build these recovery blocks for mental and physical recovery during the day.
Got it. So when you're working with these guys and gals, there's probably some things that are consistent across the whole EDM DJ landscape. But then do you create personal programs for each DJ? Is that how it works?
Yeah, look, they all each have a personal chronotype. They'll either be a morning or evening chronotype. Some will be in between. And we will base it off their chronotype and their works. All of them are going to have a unique work schedule. The main important thing is all of them are going to have different schedules. Some of them will have multiple businesses they run during the day, where they in the music studio. Some of them will be in the music studio, and some of them will be performing late in the evening, maybe during the week, and maybe most of them, the big names, will be in the weekend. And then they'll be moving around different countries. Like some of them will tour. They'll bounce around 4 different time zones probably in 1 week. These are the big guys.
Wow.
So it's very difficult for me to even get a hold of some of my guys. At the moment, my guys are mainly music producers. They DJs EDM, but they produce the music. I have one touring artist at the moment, and I'm hoping to grow that list as I build my brand and my name going further.
Yeah, interesting. We talk about how sleep has had a bad PR issue forever, right? I'll sleep when I'm dead, sleep is for the weak, etc. But it's nice to know that when the research comes in, it tells you really need to prioritize sleep. So I'm curious, when I think of an EDM DJ, I think of a young person, they're partying, they're bulletproof, if you will. Are they open to the ideas of prioritizing sleep?
Yeah, it's going to depend on the individual. I think the older crowd, the older guys that have been around the block for 20, 30 years, they will be obviously more fine-tuning to recovery and how important it is. But I think where we got to get these guys and where I'm kind of leading to is get them into the academies. So before they're graduating, they're going to go into the working world. And if we can educate them at the academies, this is where we're going to build up this education and application.
Got it.
I recently had a talk at a sound engineering academy, audio engineering academy, very well known. They're worldwide, 47 campuses. So yeah, I'm looking to do some work with them. I had a talk with their music producers and sound engineers, which are going to be going into the field of either DJing, working with a producer or sound engineer. So they're going to go full-time next year into this type of work. Yeah, and they loved it. It was nice. They loved it. They got good content. They got a free program. They got a sleep diary. So it depends how you bring it out to them, and how you make them understand it. You got to put it in a kind of a layman's term, how it relates to them.
Yeah.
If you get a bit too scientific, you're gonna kind of lose them.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose them.
Yeah, like a lot of things. I know you would also. We've been talking for a while about the growth of esports, and the schedules there.
Mm.
What does your esports part of successful sleeper look like? And is that actually growing? And are they starting to pay attention to sleep as well?
Yeah, sleep is kind of on the majority of the list. Like I said before in our conversation, they're very similar to DJs. I'm trying to figure out which one's got the busiest schedule. I think I would say the DJs at the moment. Yeah, that's gonna be quite interesting research paper to find out what they suffer with. Yeah, so obviously you can see the performance has taken quite a big acknowledgement in the esports scene. They got trainers on board, they got nutritionists, sleep coaches. They kind of getting there. They're not there yet.
Okay.
Again, the education needs to go to management. Management needs to understand the benefits of it. Because once the management knows, they'll portray it down to their staff and then staff to players. So it all starts with how you approach management, educating them first, and then the players will see the benefit of it as well. I've worked with a few gamers. I'm going to be working with Academy now in America. I'm kind of going to be managing the portfolio on the sleep and recovery side of things with a built-in app system. But that'll be more of a scalable project, etc., where we look at data and metrics, based on each chronotype, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's great to see that something as important as sleep is really starting to be paid attention to by society as a whole, really. And I'm just kind of thrilled that we're in this together, right? This is a noble cause. This is kind of a noble journey that we're on. So I appreciate learning from you, and I appreciate this back and forth that we have as we bring, your solutions to the world. And, we've obviously got Dēp Slēpwear as a complementary product. It's a tool. And I know, the more tools that we have, the more people that are going to benefit from them. So your impact on Dēp Slēpwear has been noticeable.
Yeah, my clients that have used the hoodie as well have benefited from it. We just got to get the DJs on board now. So we've got to get them sleeping with these on the plane.
Right.
They're very busy. We just got to get them buzzing with the Dēp Slēpwear hoodie, which
will
happen very soon. We've got the athletes now. We got to get these cognitive athletes on board.
Yeah, it's good. I love the way you position that. Cognitive athletes is something that makes a lot of sense.
Very similar to your esports guy. They're cognitive as well. Brain is the moneymaker.
Right. We talk to the people that are head of these esports academies, and it's the guys that and the people that are heading up these organizations are seeing that these kids really need sleep, and they need to, first of all, prioritize sleep. Understand that this is going to make you play better. It's going to make you do everything better.
Yeah, it's also the thing is, remember the kids have got academics they need to perform at. So that's where the sleep comes in also hand in hand. Because their parents at the end of the day want them to excel in their academics. So they have a backup.
Of course.
That's first priority for the parents.
Gaming. Yeah, they got to get on board. Yeah, they want their kid to be healthy. They want their kid to be successful. You had mentioned a record collaboration that you have coming up. Tell us about that. Yeah,
it's the guys from UFO. They are based locally in South Africa and Sweden. So I'm obviously going to have a collaboration with them. And they've got a lot of artists. I'm working currently with the two of them, the CEOs. I'm helping them with recovery coaching, as we all can benefit from recovery coaching. So I'm working with them, looking at their schedule, how they can be more performance orientated. So and we get a roll of that. And my second thing is to get with the academy, and we'll build from there. Yeah,
it's exciting. I'm glad we're on this journey together. I've said it before, I'll say it again, because there's a lot of exciting things out there. There are a lot of opportunities to help people. And I think we're just this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
excited.
we got to mention David, eh? Don't forget David.
Yeah. So did Dave bring you in?
Yeah, David, he brought me in, Dave. He got hold of me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And told me of the product. And when I spoke to the product, I was like, what, how, when? I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. Don't know much about this product. Let's go in. And, you know, I got on the call, Dave, like, I think within the first week we spoke.
Yeah.
So the rest is history.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way Dave and I put it is we're not shilling hoodies. You know, we've got a sleep solution that is now patented, doctor recommended, sports and sleep recovery promoted. So it is it's fun to be on. You know, Dave and I go back to college days. It's fun to be on this journey with him too, and it's great that we're such staunch believers in this product. Like I said, when we get emails from people saying you may have changed my life, that is there's no better motivation than that right there.
Yeah. And like I said to you in the earlier conversation we met, Glenn, I said, I'm backing you guys 100% to go where you want to go with this product, and I'll back you. And yeah, hopefully I'll be over there in Miami on a boat cruise and having a cigar.
Yeah, I would certainly look forward to that.
That's the goal. That is the goal.
That's the goal. Maybe we can even stay up late one night and cheat.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, one of these nights. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure as always, Barry. Thanks for the time. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with everybody, and continued success.
Successful sleeper. There we go.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
So let's tell them, successful sleeper, how do people reach out to you for help?
Okay, so they can look at my website. It's www.successfulsleeper.com, and then they can see me on Instagram, Successful Sleeper. Pretty easy.
Yeah,
that's it.
Successful Sleeper. Excellent. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm new to this thing, but that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, very good. Appreciate it. Hope you sleep well tonight, Barry.
Yeah, I got the bad boy next to me here.
Nice.
Sleep hoodie.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Cheers, Glenn. Bye.